Welcome everybody to the CERAWeek Agora, which is quite literally a gathering place for learning and development. My name is Tom de Vleeschouwer, and I lead the transport and mobility practice at IHS Markit. And today we really want to use this opportunity here to jointly explore some of the implications of ride-hailing and also driverless technology, or autonomous vehicles, some people refer to it.
I think the important thing to keep in mind, especially in the context of all of the news coverage for autonomous and self-driving technology, is that it's not just a long-term appearance of technology. This doesn't come to fruition overnight. And that's part of the reason why we can bring it back to a really realistic evolution of technology. When we look at vehicles today, there's already an abundance of technology, certainly Tesla's autopilot being one of the best examples of what cars are already capable of on the road today. And this is engineering and research and development experience that automakers and their suppliers have been going through for decades, really, at this point.
I think if we start looking at this from a smart cities concept and urban environments, and you start looking at the majority of vehicle, and this is, again, looking a bit out as we start looking at autonomous vehicles becoming more the norm, we're certainly that changes the entire paradigm for urban transit and what that looks like and what that mix of vehicles ends up looking like. If car as a service ends up taking off, do you really need all that extra space on the roadway for parking spaces? Do you really have to worry about having all of that parking infrastructure in place and metered parking spots, or can you use that for other purposes? So it really starts to challenge some of the assumptions we've had, because cars have been such an integral part of our life for so long, about what that inner city actually looks like, what that urban environment actually looks like.
I mean, I see a pretty heavily electrified future. And I see consumers making those choices as they come up. Right. But as with any sort of large infrastructure, if we think about our collected fleet as a unique infrastructure, it takes time to replace that infrastructure. So next 10 to 15 years, I think you will see meaningful portions of new vehicle sales be electric. And those cars will be participating probably at some minimal level at least in car sharing programs. Right. But I think that the consumers will drive that. It's a great experience to have an electric car, broadly speaking, and people will appreciate that pretty quickly, especially as the market starts to provide a lot more choices at a lot of different price points and functionality and all sorts of other things.
So ultimately it's down to product, really. We need more of it, and consumer will follow.
Yep, that's right. And the electric grid will figure out ways to incorporate that technology as best as possible.
Okay.